Hello and welcome, my beautiful friends and family, to Controversial Questions. You clicked on this video because you want to hear all sorts of answers about things like porn, body hair on girls, stereotypes, vasectomies, all sorts of stuff like that, and that's exactly what we will be addressing in this video today. So keep your butt strapped down to your saddle and let's get bucking, buckaroo. A lot of the questions you're about to hear in this video were supplied from an Instagram live I did, so make sure you're following me on there. And while you are watching this video, if you have any answers to these questions, I would love to hear them because I think these questions offer a lot of different answers that can come out of it, and I think it's gonna be really, really funny. And let us start with a simple one, which would be, would you kill one person to save 10,000 people? Well, figurative Brian character number one, I would. I know that's kind of a hard way to start this whole video, but yeah, I would. If I knew that 10,000 people were going to be alive and this one person had to die, I would, but the logic of it just tells me I would have to end that one person's life for all these 10,000 people. Question number two, are tattoos sexy? Are they attractive? I think tattoos are sexy. I also think not having tattoos is sexy in its own way. There's something about having like a body that is completely untouched with tattoos or piercings or any of those kind of things. Damn. And then there's something about having a body that's completely covered in tattoos. Like I think both looks are really, really, really good. On that same line of questions, how about piercings? I want to say that these are all personal opinions before anybody gets super pissed off or anything like that. This is all for fun, so don't take this too seriously. I personally don't like piercings as much as I like tattoos, but that's not to say I don't like piercings. It's just that piercings for me are more about the location of them, where tattoos you can kind of get away with them anywhere. I think it looks pretty cool. But piercings, like I personally don't really like the bullhorn ones where like you can see it kind of looks like two little boogers coming out the nose. I don't really like gauges. They're not really my thing. But again, that's not to say I don't like piercings. I think piercings are really awesome. Nipple piercings, I think they are awesome. There's my controversial answer for that one. What is the all-time grossest part of a human being? I think that the back part behind your molars, I just think that's the area that the people, they have the hardest time getting to and or just habitually don't get to, and it gets really dirty. Are you on steroids, and will you or would you take them? Now this question I get all the friggin' time, and I've been lifting for 10 years. There's certain pictures and stuff where you get a good angle on them and people are like, blows my mind. So I totally understand that people would ask this question, but my answer is no. I've never taken steroids. I will never take steroids. The reason why I would never touch steroids is because your endocrine system, so your endocrine system is the system that controls your hormone balance, your testosterone, your estrogen, and when you take steroids, it shuts down your endocrine system because you're getting fake synthetic testosterone in, and your body eventually will shut down its own test production completely, and even when you try to turn it back on, you'll only turn it back on to a certain level, so you aren't going to be producing the same amount of natural test after you take test, and that, to me, leads me to believe that you would have to take tests for the rest of your life. Should girls have body hair? I don't really give a fuck. I've never understood this obsession with this one. I really don't care either way whether girls got body hair or not. Now, whether or not she's cleanly is a different story. You know, you can have body hair and stuff, but if you don't like shower ever, or if I can see like old dirt or old something inside of the hair, or smells weird or something like that, that's a different story, and I don't think that's really offensive. What is your all-time weirdest habit that you have? I don't know if anybody else is gonna in the comments be like, oh, me too. I probably am not expecting to see anybody say that they also do this, but my weird habit is that when I poop in any place that's not my own location, my own house, I have to get completely naked. Don't ask why. I don't know if there's any reason why, but it just feels weird to me to be wearing any portion of my clothes, my socks, my pants, my shirt, anything at all. I just need to get completely free, and then I can poop. That is weird. Okay, here's a good one. This is a very serious one. Is porn okay? Is it bad? Now here is probably the most controversial question of the entire video, and I would say that porn is a very dangerous place. I'd say masturbation, all that kind of stuff is a very dangerous place and can very quickly lead to bad things, but I would say that not inherently are they bad. I don't think being sexual, and I don't think investigating your sexuality is a bad thing. I don't think that focusing on your sexuality or your sexual urges is a bad thing until it gets to a point where you become obsessive with it and it takes away from what you are trying to do with the rest of your life. I think that porn can quickly take that spot in a lot of people's lives. Watching porn can become so accessible for a lot of people that it actually becomes an addiction that is the same as doing drugs or anything like that. And it's free, which I think makes it even more dangerous. Because I think what a lot of people end up doing is they get that dopamine rush, they get that endorphin rush whenever they're watching porn, and then it becomes a thing where all you have to do is just turn it back on to do more of it. Like if you're addicted to some sort of a drug, you have to run out of that drug, then you have to go get more of that drug. You also have to make the money to continue buying that drug. But with porn, you literally don't need to have any money to continue watching porn. So you can sit there 24/7 and watch it all time. And that can take away from you, having friendships, relationships. It can take away from your career, your job, it can take away from schooling. It can take away from a lot of stuff because it can just eat up your time. Anything that's eating up your time and taking away from other things that would make you feel all these different emotions, the spectrum, I think is bad for you. And the final question for this controversial Q&A, which I think is probably gonna be the most controversial of the Q's for the A's, is, are stereotypes ever actually true? I feel like I have to kind of walk on eggshells here, but at the same time, what I'm about to say is so factually true, I don't think anybody can really disagree with it. So at the same time, I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells. And here is my answer to that. I think that so many times stereotypes come from a place of endearment or a place of love or a place of tradition. But I think that stereotypes, the word even itself, gets a bad connotation from people who use those stereotypes in a bad way, in a racist way, or in a negative way. Like, for example, here's a way that I think stereotypes are mostly generally true. You might have heard somebody say something like, Mexican people generally like spicier foods or have a higher tolerance for spicy foods. Now, that's not necessarily to say that every single person of any Mexican heritage or ethnicity at all loves spicy foods. It's not true. It's not every single person, but in general, I would say that more people who are Mexican than another country or ethnicity that doesn't have as many spices involved in their foods like spicy foods because that's the way that their culture works. That's the way that their food system works in that country. And because there are more spices in the food, you're going to get more used to spices and like spices from an early age. Another pretty common stereotype is that women are more emotional or feeling or are more caring than men are. And I wouldn't say again that this is a rule, it's in general. And I would say that for the most part, from my experience with men and women, I would say that this is generally true. And there's science behind this because the hormonal panel of a male to a female, there's a lot more testosterone in a man, there's a lot more estrogen and oxytocin in a woman, and that causes a lot of times for women to be a lot more feeling, a lot more sympathetic, empathetic, and able to help you with your feelings, or at least be empathetic towards what you're feeling, whereas a lot of men won't have that same type of ability. Now, again, not to say that every single person is this way, because I've met a lot of women who are very callous and don't have a lot of emotional appeal to them, and I've seen a lot of men who are extremely emotional, extremely empathetic, and I would say that I am one of those people. So I would say that stereotypes have their places and they can be good things, but I think that a lot of people make them negative from the very start. For example, a stereotype about me and my type of people is that Californians talk with a kind of dumb accent. We kind of talk like we're stoned all the time. We have this monotone voice and stuff, and I'd say that that's generally pretty true when I talk to Californian people, and I'm not offended by it, and that's okay. It's kind of funny. Anyways, my beautiful friends and family, thank you for coming in and checking out this video. I thought this would be a fun little break in between the videos because this is just a completely different type of topic. I thought it would be really fun because you can click in here and see what I gotta say, and I feel like a lot of these questions are really funny. I would love to do more of these, so if you guys do want to see more controversial Q&As, I would love for you guys to let me know in the comments below, and if you did have any answers to any of the questions, I also really want to see what those answers are. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week. See you.